My name is Danielle, and this is Trying Matters. If you're looking for a no BS type podcast, this is it. I'm here to help make life fun and interesting and learn right alongside you how to be brave enough to go against the grain. Here, we'll be talking about real challenges and fears that are holding us women back from living our lives to the fullest. So let's shake things up a bit and actually start trying. Oh my gosh. Okay, welcome to the first episode of Trying Matters. First of all, I have to say, oh my gosh, I am completely in shock that I'm actually doing this. Um, so yeah, this is going to be fun. This is a new adventure for me. And anybody who has decided to listen in or watch, I just want to say thank you to start off. So let's get this thing started. Okay, so like I said, welcome to Trying Matters. My name is Danielle Adams Boudreau. I am 27 and I just recently got married, and I am a speech language pathologist who is all about helping people learning new things, and I needed a new hobby. So here I am. I started a podcast. So, a little bit of background info. Way back when I was a little high school version of myself, um, I was tasked with every task that every high schooler has, which is, what are you going to be when you grow up? Sophomore year of high school, and everyone's asking, where are you going to go to school? What are you going to do? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm only a sophomore. Okay. We started having career day, and I just kept telling my family, I really just want to help people. And of course, at that point, my dad laughed at me and was like, well, you can't get a degree in helping people. So I dug a little bit, went to career day, ended up falling in love with the career of speech language pathology. I have been a speech language pathologist, or as a lot of people know it a little bit more commonly, a speech therapist, um, since 2020. I graduated in the heat of the pandemic, and I started working with kids, doing what you would imagine, working with articulation disorders and language and all the things that you think of when you think of a speech therapist working with a kid. Went on to work in hospitals, and now I work with mostly stroke patients and patients with respiratory issues and um, neurological issues to help rehabilitate their swallowing and their language and cognition and all kinds of fun stuff. So I went along with the path of helping people. Um, I played it safe and picked a career path that I knew I was going to have. What is the word that people use? Stability? That might be it. Um, or safety or job security. That's what it is. Job security. Always knew that I was going to have a job. And like I said, I played it safe. And somewhere along the way, I was like, this is kind of boring. Like, I love what I do, but I need more. And at some point in those years after graduating, I was like, man, I just don't feel like this is my best potential. Like, I'm living up to my best potential. There's got to be something more out there for me. So I started on the health and wellness pathway and ended up falling into a community of people who were, starting their workout and nutritional health type journeys. And I ended up becoming a health and wellness coach for a little while. And I enjoyed aspects of that, but it was with network marketing, and I really wasn't the biggest fan of it. I just couldn't quite get the hang of the full picture and what I really wanted from it. And there were aspects of it where I was helping people, which I enjoyed, but just parts of it didn't sit well with me. Even though it wasn't something shady, I still had this like thought in the back of my mind that I was like tricking people to, you know, let me coach them. And I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. So lots of learning lessons came from that. And I got into personal development at that point. Um, I've always had kind of my faith as a guide throughout my life, and I kind of got away from that. And jumping into my health journey kind of pulled me back into my faith life. And then it also expanded my personal development range to books and podcasts. And there was this one podcast that I listened to called Empower Her. And I'm going to call her out because she's part of the reason why I'm doing this, with Keisha Get Mary. And I've been listening to her for going on 4 years now. And she's been an inspiration to me. And there's a few other podcasts that I've listened to that it's all about, getting out of your own way and doing something that you truly enjoy. And I've been through a long period of time where I'm just like, I like what I do, but do I love it? And do I want to do that for the rest of my life? So that kind of led me to kind of continue digging into this personal development space and expanding into the Enneagram. If any of you are familiar with that, we'll be talking about that occasionally here on the podcast. And it got me expanded into, what are those people called? Y'all, I'm blanking. Um, like motivational speakers, such as Mel Robbins, for one. Read a few of her books, and all of that has kind of just had me wondering, are we called in life to just do one thing? And back in high school, when I was, oh, I want to help people, there was also another side of me that was like, I want to entertain people. I was a dancer growing up, and I loved being on stage, and I loved being the person that made people laugh and made them smile and whatever it may be. And I wanted to do something that was fun. But I also knew I needed to do something practical, and I went with practical. And I think after all these years of being practical and, sticking to, you graduate college, you get the job, you get married, that linear path, I was like, there's something missing here, and I still want to have fun. Why am I not having fun? Now, of course, I've done fun things throughout my life, but where is the fun in the mundane? How do I make something like doing laundry fun or driving to work fun? Or is this linear path that I've been on truly it? And I've found myself now like coming home from work, and I do my workout, and then I sit around and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? And I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I sit there and I get on my phone and I click on social media and I start scrolling. And I start scrolling. And the next thing you know, it's been hours. And I'm like, what have I done? This has been a boring afternoon. And I have not been productive. I have not enjoyed myself. Now I just feel kind of in a funk. Looking at everybody else's lives, their highlight reels, they're doing all these cool, fun things. And what am I doing? Watching them through a screen. So, all of that, going on my linear pathway, trying to do something new with life coaching and health and wellness coaching, um, sitting at home bored with extra time going, there's got to be more, led me to think, man, I need a hobby. And I love doing artsy things, but I'm not an artist. And I love talking with my friends and spending time with them and giving them advice. And then I'm sitting there thinking, what can I do that's a hobby that involves either of those things? Well, I love to talk. I've always been told that I talk too much. Why don't I start a podcast? So, that podcast that I mentioned earlier, Empower Her, Keisha, the host of that show, said that she was putting on a podcast cohort to learn how to start a podcast. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then I was talking to my friend about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of saying maybe. I'm tired of saying one day. When is one day? Why not now? So I did it. I signed up for the class, took it, and now here I am. So, all of that to just kind of introduce to you guys where I was briefly, where I am now, and what the goal of this is. So, Trying Matters came about because I want more in my life. I don't want to have just a linear pathway of following the status quo of you go to high school, you go to college, you get the degree, you get the job, you get the man, you have the kids. I don't want that. I want something more than that. And if you can agree with that, this podcast is for you. This is going to be a journey of me exploring new things that I may or may not like to pick up as hobbies. This is going to be a podcast about talking about the realities of what we experience as women when we hold ourselves back for whatever reason that it may be, whether that is listening to what others say and being afraid of their opinions and then closing ourselves off to the possibilities of what our potential is, or if that is not understanding the process of how to do something new, or maybe you just don't know what it is that you want to do. This is what that podcast is about. We're going to be talking about different career paths, interviewing people who are on a variety of different pathways, from being entrepreneurs to following more of a structured path to having a career change to being new moms, and people who are struggling with the dating world of 2024, whatever it may be. We're going to talk about it here on Trying Matters, because the main goal of this podcast is for me and you to stop standing in our own way and to just say, screw it, let's go, full send, we're doing this, whatever it may be. For us to stop sitting at home and scrolling on our phones and actually be the ones who are out there living, doing what we want to do, and saying, I'm not scared, or I am scared, but I'm going for it anyway. So, me and you, arm in arm, let's go. We are in this together. And I hope you guys come back to listen to all of the different things that we're going to be talking about. And I'm super excited. Thank you guys for listening to episode 1. I know it was probably all over the place, but hey, I'm trying this for the first time. And if that is not a testimony to what this is all about, I don't know what is. So, cheers. Let's go. Day 1, podcast episode number 1. Heck yeah. All right. I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening in. I hope you got a little inspiration to start taking steps towards whatever it is you've been wanting to try. If you love this episode, share it on socials and tag me. I'd love to hear how it helped you. And of course, we got to get the word out to the other women who are needing that little extra push like you and I do. Can't wait to talk to you soon.